as we know, we're gonna get this party going one way or another. Thank everybody for tuning in. Shout out to Kev, first person in the house. Shout out to you, Godza. Shout out to you as well. What we want to do is basically, I'm gonna go over Colin Cowherd's talk about Dak Prescott and his opinions. Why the Cowboys Nation is so negative on Dak Prescott. And my thing is too as well, just me personally, I would say the Dallas Cowboys, my God, we have the most, and I'm talking about the hardest ratings of any fan base as it relates to the quarterback. We don't want to give the guy a chance. We don't want to give him time. We wanted him to pass like Joe Montana his second year. And Colin Cowherd, I really don't listen to his show as much. One can argue and say, well, hell, Law, you might continue to not listen to his show as much because he just spits out whatever a hot topic is. And I'm not a hot topic guy, you know, but it's one of those things where we really got to understand as Cowboys Nation, in order for this thing to work out, it's really Ezekiel Elliott. If anybody want to blame anything last year, you can blame Roger Goodell. I give you that. You can blame Ezekiel Elliott off the field shenanigans. But on the field, Ezekiel Elliott is the man, the truth, the legend. Even at his second year. Now it's going to be his third year. You guys know that I did the high praises for Ezekiel Elliott earlier today. If you guys continue to follow the channel, you guys know what I'm talking about. I salute everybody that's in the chat box. Thanks for those who are in the room too as well. But let's get this show going. You know, go ahead and pop the little picture up here. You guys see him. You see one of the greatest jersey of all times in the back. That's should be Michael Jeffrey Jordan. He's one of the better guys of all time. But shout out to Michael Jeffrey Jordan that's in the background. But let's get this thing going. We're going to listen to what Colin Cowherd, you know, I used to call him another name. I want you guys to imagine what I used to say about that part of it. But what's up, J Mac, man? Shout out to you too as well. I see you. I see you down there in the house on the ones and twos. Jason, shout out to you too as well.
The negativity around Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboy quarterback. I just don't get it. Yesterday, Stephen Jones, son of Jerry, came out, and he basically, I don't need to play the audio, but he compared Dak to Aikman. He said he's a little bit more like Aikman than Tony Romo. He wants precise routes into the pocket, and it was kind of a shot at Des Bryant, like actually run precise routes. But when I read that, I thought to myself, oh my God, the negativity when you compare Troy Aikman, an all-time top 10 great, and Dak Prescott. Forget the fact that Dak's had 22 wins in 2 years with major distractions. Zeke, Dez, Jerry Jones, league stuff.
Jerry Jones.
But I've said this before. We have an image of people based on, if I say to you, here's a guy, he's from Harvard, you automatically think, oh, he went to Harvard. He's super smart, very successful. Or you say, this guy's a doctor. The average doctor in America makes $70,000 a year. That's a nice living. The average car sales manager makes over that. The manager of a car lot. You think doctor, prestige, wealth, a lot of doctors.
Hey, that analogy alone, man, Colin be having these analogies out here, man, to make you think. And he's just breaking down the salary, the numbers, the money, how people make money in the United States of America. Most people collectively think that if you're a doctor or you're a lawyer, you make cheddar, you make cheese, you're making bank. A lawyer don't make money until he make partner, basically. And he got a lot of fees, he got a lot of things that he had to pay for. And a lot of times if he ain't grinding, a lawyer out there, if he ain't grinding, you gotta really make partnership to make money. And now those who think that they want to put their kids to be a doctor, you know that hey, I've seen some doctor check stubs before, and a lot of times, especially even if they open up their own practice, they got malpractice stuff that they got to pay for, insurance and stuff like that. So Colin Cowherd is on his stuff, man, with these analogies. But he's breaking it down so far of when he made the comparison. I think Jerry Jones or Stephen Jones made the comparison of Dak Prescott to my guy Troy Aikman. And I made that comparison too before too as well. It's nothing new. That comparison can be shown. As far as leadership, as far as he wants to have an accuracy. You know, Troy was never a guy that just could run. He wasn't like a fluid guy, but Dak Prescott is. So those are things that always come into my mind. What the temperament of what Dak Prescott is and what Tony Rome's. Now, Tony Rome's, he was more like the Brett Favre type of guy. He was more of the gunslinger guy. And now those guys are always going to be more, it's just going to look better out there on the field when everything is going the right way. But at the same time, the high risk, the high reward situation. Now, granted, somebody can throw up stats and say, well, you know, according to his stats, his QBR rating was pretty high. I don't think that was much of a risk. But if you got to put in the aspect too as well. Injuries come into play. Even in the last time Tony Rome's got his back all snapped up. If he'd have just said, hey, you know, this preseason, I'm just going to throw the ball away. And even Bill Parcells kind of shed light on that too as well. He was saying, hey, Tony, you got to get the ball out. You'll be lunch meat out there for those who like to hit you, you know. So, and I'm not saying, and I think Colin is not saying that Dak Prescott will be better than Troy or Dak Prescott will be better than Tony Rome's, you know. But what he's saying is that, hey, there's a lot of negativity coming from the Cowboys camp on Dak Prescott when this is his second year, and I think he's going to base it around. Most of you guys seen it out there for a long time already, you know, because this video been posted, I think, a minute ago. And shout out to Italian Cowboy, man, for putting this in my ear. He inboxed me via Twitter. He said, look, Law, check this out. And I was like, man, okay, I'll check it out when I get a chance. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. But let's kick back over to what the Colin Cowherd have to say. And you guys already know what his nickname used to be, right?
Struggling to pay bills. Okay, but there's these preconceived notions. And if you're a first-round quarterback, oh, you're a talent. You get second, third, fourth chances. Dak's a fourth-round quarterback. We always doubt him. I've done this before. Cam Newton, Dak Prescott. Put them up next to each other. Winning percentage, big edge Dak. Completion percentage, huge edge Dak. Passer rating, huge edge Dak. Touchdown to interception ratio, monstrous advantage Dak. And oh, by the way, in the last 2 years since Dak came into the league, Dak has more rushing touchdowns than Cam. And he's significantly more mature than Cam. But we apologize for Cam, and Cam's a first-rounder. Cam's a first-rounder. Yeah. Hey, right now, Dak, Cam, next 5 years, I'll take Dak. The numbers don't lie. But I know what you're saying, Colin, you don't like Cam. You're anti-Cam. You're not into Cam. Okay, I don't believe that to be true. I think the numbers are true. But you know what I'll do? Let's do a blind resume with Dak and 3 quarterbacks. So I'll do Dak Prescott against another number 1 pick at quarterback that wasn't Cam. All right. On the right, check. Blind resume. On the right.
All right, guys, blind resume. Those who have not seen the video, post the person that you guys think that he's making this comparison to down in the inbox right now. I know that we got some crafty Cowboys fans out here, knowledgeable. All right, he's looking at the numbers, winning percentage, okay, 0.688. I think that's Dak information to your right. 65.2, that's Dak. He's over that guy. Rating. Passer rating, 95.5. It's like a radio station, 95.5, the jam. You know what I mean? Touchdown, 2.6. That's Carson Wentz stat. Let's see. My boy Lightbody in the house. L-Train, shout out to you too as well. Eli Manning, 2-0 in the Super Bowl. Eli Manning going to go to his grave with that. Shout out to you, boy. Shout out to you, man. I love you, man. Love Eli.
Dak Prescott.
Eli.
Who is another number 1 quarterback that Dak beats in all 4 categories? Completion, passer rating, touchdown, interception, winning percent. Matt Stafford. Beats him significantly in all the categories. Colin, but that's not fair because Detroit's a lousy organization. All right. Let's go to what we perceive to be a well-run, well-coached organization. Blind resume with the quarterback. And this guy.
Let me pause it again. All right, so let's look at the stakes. You know, I already read out the Dak Prescott stats, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, man, you just want you and Dak Prescott get a room or something. You know what I mean? But what else are we supposed to say? You know what I mean? It's going to be his third year. Now, I do say this, and I will say this. He better play better this year, regardless of the situation. You guys know I give out hard grades, and he better show up and show out. But on the other hand, he got a .597, 6, and that's on win percentages. You know, Dak is above that, of course. You know, 61.7, that's completion. Yeah, you all know that. 84.1 passer rating. Dak is light years ahead of him on that. I would take that day. I'll take that any day. And then touchdown 1.5 opposed to Dak Prescott 2.6. Do anybody knows who's the blind resume, who's that quarterback is sitting to the left? Do anybody knows in the chat box? All right, I got D Nation. Shout out to you, man, with the Flacco. You know, we'll see if that's Flacco or not. You know, Garrett stats. About 500. Yeah, you're right, man. Let's see. Let's hit the play button, man, and see who we got, man.
Is a Super Bowl MVP. Once again, Dak beats in winning percentage, completion percentage, passer rating, touchdown, intercept. Check. Well, who would that be? Not even close, actually. Oh, that's Joe Flacco. All right, Colin. Flacco's always been overrated. You hate Cam, and the Lions are terrible. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pick a guy that I like from a good organization that wins a bunch, and also like Dak has a really good O-line. Okay. All right. This one for sure, Dak's not gonna win.
All right, let's see. Let's put a pause button, man. Who's the third guy in the fray, man? I know you guys seen this show before. This is a rerun, but who you guys got in the fray? He got a .621 win percentage rating. He got a 61.5 completion rating. It's a little bit above Dak Prescott, 65.2. He have an 88.8. I like the 88s in there. Passer rating, he have, you know, Dak Prescott 95.5. I'm talking about the radio station that he have. All right, 2.3 touchdown ratio. The interception, which Dak Prescott have a 2.6. Everybody putting their name out there. Everybody saying that it is Carson Wentz. All right, we'll see who this is, but this is some good stuff. Colin Kaepernick. I'm keep on saying Colin Kaepernick. Colin Cowherd, man. You guys got to get my mind together, man. Maybe it's the yak, man. Maybe it's the yak. Let me take another sip. Maybe get my mind together. You know what I mean? I hope the kids are at bed. I hope the kids going to bed. All right, so there's apple juice for those kids out there, okay? All right, so we're going to see what happened, what's going on. We're going to see what this is all about.
All right, Dak, winning percentage, check. Completion percentage, check. Passer rating, check. TD interception ratio, check. Who is this quarterback? Oh, it's Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
The MVP for the first 14 weeks of the NFL season. Cam, Stafford,
Carson Wentz.
Flacco, Wentz. Number 1 pick. Super Bowl MVPs. The next great quarterback. Dak. But he's got a great O-line. So does Wentz. But he's a running back. Oh, yeah, because, you know, Cam's never had good running backs. Flacco's never had good running backs. And last year, Philadelphia could just never run the football. Okay. I don't get it. Dak Prescott, 4th rounder. You don't pay him the respect because you didn't watch his college games. You really didn't. And he doesn't come from an all-time program. And he not only didn't go in the first, didn't go in the second, didn't go in the third.
I better leave Mississippi State alone.
He went in the 4th. And by the way, there's another quarterback in the NFL with a very similar story that went in the 4th, and his own organization whizzed on him when he was there and has whizzed on him since he left. His name is Kirk Cousins. And in Vegas, they're the number 2 favorite to win the Super Bowl. Dak can win a Super Bowl. Dak may win a Super Bowl. Data, numbers, blind resume. Dak's the real deal and only getting better. And the Cowboys' schedule this year will be their weakest since he entered the league.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check.
Right, lady. Pause it with a mouth open. Cool, right? All right, so let me just take this away. I really thank everybody for tuning in. Opinions, your thoughts, things that you guys have on your mind out there. I see that a lot of people are still upset about the Dak Prescott. Dak maturity helps him out tremendously. Yeah, I can see that. It's just one of those things, man. We really just have to pump the brakes a little bit on the so much hatred. You know, I post videos of Dak Prescott, what he needs to improve on, and I do post videos on what he pretty much did well. And every day, whether it's via Twitter, Facebook, or the YouTube comment section, there's always so much that he's trash. He can't pass for more than 5 yards and things of that ilk. I do know that this is third year, and I'm not trying to give this man so much rope to say, okay, you have enough room here. But what I'm saying is, I do know steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. We want the best for our quarterback, especially for the Dallas Cowboys. We do need quarterback, quote unquote. The fan base always rough on the quarterbacks, even when if you go all the way back to Roger Staubach and Danny White's of the world, and if you go to Troy Aikman, it wasn't an easy slate for him. I'm gonna argue and saying, well, Tony Romo had an easy slate, but then the GM, the whole way that Jerry Jones crafted his team, and then ultimately Tony Romo taking that big contract and not having the ability to go out and grab defensive players and having a better offensive line around him could have been a death wish to the self, you know. But not saying that you shouldn't go after the money, because, you know, that's what we work for, right? We work for money. We play this game for money, for longevity and all this stuff, right? So the slate for Dak Prescott, it seems as if though it was given to him, and like I said, football is a war of attrition. But it's one of those things where we have to fold back and sit back as Cowboys fans and say to ourselves, as I sip on my apple juice, you know what I mean? It's the greatest apple juice of all time. But what I'm saying is that what we need to do collectively, sit back, let this season come, and see how they're going to craft up this team now that Ezekiel Elliott is not in the news. And guess what? Roger Goodell should be just like, oh, okay, I'm going to back off from this situation. Now I'm not going to put too much things on the fray. Hopefully that's Roger Goodell's template. Because we as Cowboys fans, we watching the news wire. We're watching the waiver wire of everybody out there. And we're not seeing no suspensions. But it's okay. That's cool. Give us Randy Gregory back. And tell us that you're not going to be all in our, you know what, you know. Just let us play football the way it intended to be. Shout out to those that's in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in to the show. What is that, Jason? Shout out to you. L Train 45. Shout out to you too as well. Ben, was it Brandon T? Shout out to you. Don't forget, guys, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the Silver and Blue Nation. Subscribe to the Dallas Prospect. That's DDP. We have a nice brand new website. The link should be posted below. You guys go there. You're going to see some nice stuff as it relates to like sports in general. And hopefully the Mavs are going to get one of those good lottery balls or whatever you call it. And we want to pick somebody that's going to be high up in the radar so we can at least have the Dallas Mavs winning. Shout out to the Stars too as well. Salute. Mr. Chips. Shout out to you. Eli Manning, shout out to you, 2-0. You did us a big favor for beating Tom Brady. You know, you did us a good favor for doing that. Look in crazy. I love that screen name. I love that username. Shout out to you as well as I get ready to cue the music to get on out of here. This is a short show. I might jump back on in a few, but I just don't want to keep this segment and this topic so long. You know what I mean? You guys know how I roll with this thing. Let's get this thing going one way or another. I promise you guys. forgot to give you guys my review. This whole let me turn it down just for a little bit. I forgot to really give you guys my review on Colin Cowherd's whole sections and his whole synopsis of Dak Prescott and the Cowboys Nation being so negative on it. I really think that Colin Cowherd used some great analogies on this whole thing. I really think that he really brought home a lot of key things, trigger words too as well, as far as hot topic, because he know that you're going to get a lot of views when you start talking about the Cowboys. But at least he don't do it as much as the talking heads in the morning, like the Stephen A. Smith and the Skip Bayless or Skip Shayless or whoever you want to call it, and the other guy Shannon Sharp when he said skip, you know, that guy, you know. But at least he drove home with some factual numbers, you know, because everybody else, when they debating this topic, they just spit out from the emotional aspect of it. At least Colin Cowherd, you know what I mean, brought in some numbers, brought in some facts, you know. It was pretty good. But my whole thing is the jury is still out on Dak Prescott. I understand that, and it should be, especially for those who just love to watch the ball travel through the air, hit the receiver within the numbers, and the receiver run on into the touchdown. We understand that. But now what we need to focus on is we are a run-first oriented football team. And with this mindset, by us being a run-first football team, these numbers shouldn't be as high as a wide receiver catching 1,600 yards. Should be along the lines of what, believe it or not, what Filthy did last year. Filthy didn't have a receiver pretty much that hit these big 45 numbers. Believe it or not, they had three-headed monster of a running back run the ball, and then they hit the RPOs, which was pretty cool, even when they had the other quarterback to come into the fray. Realized the hell out of their tight ends. One can argue and say, well, maybe Jason Witten can do that. Jack Ertz, you know, Dak Ertz, however you call that guy's name. But neither here nor there. Not to talk about old man reliable, gold jacket with, however you want to call it. But this year, Deontay Thompson, I know a misnumber. Allen Hurns, Dez Bryant, third year with the quarterback. He's not going to be in the picture for at least week 8, week 9. So he might be trade bait. I don't know. I really don't know what their plan's going to do with Cole Beasley. I don't know. I think Cole Beasley, there was a rumor that he was requesting for a trade. I don't know whether or not that's factual, so I'm not going to spit things on my thoughts on that. I'm not going to say anything to that happen, because in a piece of my heart, I wanted Cole Beasley to have a better year last year. The teams crafted their mind around it and said, you know what? We be dogged and grim if we let Cole Beasley beat us. A 5'9" guy. We're going to bracket coverage him, and then we're going to swing and roll coverage Dez Bryant, and pretty much had Dez Bryant bracket coverage on inside and outside, but the outside plays, and then they bracket coverage Cole Beasley in the inside. So they got crafty. They got very they looked at a lot of tape to take away Dak Prescott's targets, and Dak Prescott first and second read was just gone, you know. And then I think that Dak Prescott rushed a lot of his throws to Dez Bryant, which looked uncomfortable a lot to us on TV. To me, I always say the Cowboys don't need to be cute when they get down there to the money zone. Use what got you there, and that was the running key. That was running back. And look at the first game. If you guys have any pretty much, how can I put this? If you guys have any reservation on what I'm talking about, look at that first game and look at when we was down there in the goal line, the money zone, the green area. Dak Prescott tried to force the ball to Dez Bryant. It didn't look good. It didn't look good on tape. Although we won that game, it was just like a calling card of what would happen through the whole entire year. And it looks like they was trying to make style points or cool points or look cute out there versus just, hey, give the ball to number 21, let him pound the ball in and score the touchdown. You play another play, what have you. But that's pretty much all the time I have right now. I might jump on a little later. It's 10:29 where I'm at, but you guys know how I go. And remember, You're listening to Nothing But the Best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.